Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here. Another fun edition of Deborah Kobylt Live. And for those of you ladies who think you're really funny, I've got the show for you. Listen up. We have in studio with us Lisa Sundstedt. Did I say that right?
You said it perfectly.
Oh, my God. I've been practicing that all day. Lisa Sundstedt.
Yeah, love it.
You are a self-proclaimed madam of comedy. You teach comedy for women primarily, just women, right?
Just women.
And you own a business called Pretty Funny Women, which we'll get into in a little bit. But first, I love talking a little bit about your background because I was like really fascinated. You were a singer and dancer at the Hyatt in Casablanca, Morocco, which just seems just so, cool. For the Crown Prince. Right? The Crown
Prince of Saudi Arabia and his entourage came to see our show.
That just sounds very exotic. So what do they do in the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia when he walks in with his entourage of 15? Do you sort of take a gasp and go,
No, we didn't know who he was. He was 22 years old. I was 22 years old.
Oh, sounds kind of fun to me.
Yeah.
So you're in Morocco with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So,
and they came to our show and they loved our show. And then they took us on dates.
I knew it.
Yes.
Really?
But Gypsy was this woman who took us overseas. It sounds like I'm lying. Her name was Gypsy. I never knew her
only in
last name.
showbiz do these things happen.
Yeah.
I believe all of it because the craziest things happen. One day you're sitting on the couch waiting for a gig, and the next minute you're performing for the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia with a lady by the name of Gypsy. Yeah, I get it. So, okay, you're performing for these guys, and one of your next gigs after that, then all of a sudden you jump over to Disneyland in good old Tokyo, right?
Yeah.
And next thing you know, when that one's over, you're performing on an Italian cruise ship. Then you're asked to go and perform with Sha-na-na, and then et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
Such is the business, right?
Yes. I was a showgirl in my 20s.
Oh.
Yeah, fake eyelashes, the hair, the fishnets, the heels, character heels, the whole 9 yards.
Really? Do we have any pictures from those days? Did you send me any of that?
I didn't send you.
Your show day girls? That's okay. Next time you'll send some
I have a
pictures.
good one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
With the Crown Prince? I'm kind of into that one.
I got to find that. Yeah, I have something.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. But all of this led you to realize, you know what? I'm kind of funny, and I want to start doing comedy. So, take me from performing at Disneyland in Tokyo to then singing with Sha-na-na to now here you run a business in Sherman Oaks, California, teaching comedy to women.
Yes, I always wanted to be a comedian. I was too scared to do it, but I was dating an agent. I was about 24, 25 years old, and I said, I want to be on a sitcom. And he said, do stand-up comedy. That's the best way to get seen by the industry.
Oh.
So I put together an act, and he put me up at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood, and I wasn't even ready, and I kind of bombed, but...
Did you talk about your own life? Did you have a script? How did it go?
I talked about being a singer-dancer. I talked about my life, and, I sang a song. I used to sing a song on stage that I wrote called Rejected Again. It was about musical theater auditions and how I wasn't good enough to be on Broadway.
I've got Kaylee going like, huh? I know what that's like. Rejected again. The life of an actor and an actress, right?
Yes.
It's just the way it goes,
Yes, over and over again, rejected.
Okay, so then you were doing stand-up.
So I started doing stand-up comedy, and I couldn't get any stage time. There was just not a lot of spots for women. And I was at the Hollywood Improv one night, and this guy said to me, you're a comedian, you're too pretty to be funny. And I was like, I kind of like the name Pretty, Funny, Women. I'm going to get my hot girlfriends together, and we're going to put on a showcase. So we put it on at a club called Luna Park, which no longer exists.
Look at some of the pictures. Is that you and some of the performers? You're adorable.
Oh, thank you. Those are my students.
Okay.
Yes.
They're all adorable.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
They're all so cute.
So you formed this company.
I started Pretty Funny Women, and it started out as a showcase for up-and-coming female comics. So it would run at the Hollywood Improv for many years. And I had on, like, Chelsea Handler, Tig Notaro, Retta, Maria Bamford, and sometimes all on the same bill. It was before anyone
They
knew
all
who
came
were.
to you, and they just said...
I found them. I was always scouting for, like, girls that I thought were going to be stars.
Are you still scouting?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Because you said earlier, you're like, you're kind of funny. And you keep
You're
looking at
very
me like,
funny.
see? Just
Yeah.
keep scouting.
Yeah.
Because I still think that, I would love to do that.
I think
actually.
there's a future for you in
I think
stand-up
so, too.
comedy because you're very quick. You're naturally funny.
She's right.
And that's what it takes.
Yeah. I always say to Kaylee, I said, like, there's got to be a role for me out there. I don't think there's a role. Like, I think I have to play myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what comedy is in a way, right? Especially stand-up.
Right.
You're deriving usually from yourself and experiences that you see, right?
Right. And you don't have to wait around for somebody to cast you in something. You're casting yourself.
Yeah, and getting big bucks for it. Not, but you get what right? It's like,
somebody gets big bucks.
It's like doing a
It's not
podcast
me.
and an internet show. You know what I mean? Big bucks for it. Not necessarily, you know, but okay, so how many students do you have?
I've probably over 1,000.
Over 1,000?
Yes.
I don't want to get lost in the shuffle when I come and do this comedy thing.
Well,
I'm
I've been
just
doing
letting you
it
know.
10 years. So 3 classes a week, 10 years, 10 girls in a class.
So what do you do? Let's say I come to your class.
Okay.
And you sign up. It's, I guess, a series of them, like 6 or 8 classes.
There's
And
8 classes.
Do you teach somebody to be funny, or they just stand up there and do it?
Well, I can't teach somebody how to be funny. Like, you have to kind of naturally have a sense of humor. But I can teach you how to hone your material, write a joke, put together a 5-minute set, and then you'll go on stage and you'll showcase at Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank in front of 100 people.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then what happens? Do a lot of the women do it because they really want to be comics, or because they just feel like it's a fun thing to do? Because I actually think this is brilliant on so many levels, you know?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You know, 90% of the women who take my class don't want to be professional stand-up comedians. They want to try it. They think it sounds like a fun thing to do. It's all women. It's a safe, supportive environment. And so they try it, and they face a fear, and, you know, I send them to open mics. So you would have to go to open mics and try out your stuff and get on stage. And
I would do that. I wouldn't tell anybody I know. That's all. Because then I would completely panic. All right, Tony, I'll tell you, you can show up. But otherwise, I would find that terrifying, because if I sucked, I wouldn't want the people in my world to know about it. If there's some lady there and guy there I don't know, I don't really give a crap if they think I'm funny or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then once you get a little applause, I imagine it's like, I can do this.
yes, it's
And
a high.
then, it's like a real high. And then you start inviting the people you know, right? Like the friends and the family, right?
Yeah, you invite them to the showcase. You don't invite them to open mics, because that's workshopping your material. You're trying stuff out, and you are bombing. But bombing is part of the process. It's just information. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just telling you, oh, this joke doesn't work. It needs to be revised or cut.
Do most jokes, is it usually something that you have written out? For example, like, I know some of my friends think I'm kind of funny, and a lot of times I'll say something, but it just comes out of my mouth that moment, and then it's gone. And if I were to even remember it, I'd be like, what did I just say or do? Is it just...
It's funny you should say that, because one of the first homework assignments I give is to pay attention to everything you say throughout the week. And if it gets a laugh, write it down.
Oh.
You have to have discipline and write it down.
Yeah, I don't have any discipline.
Because you have all these jokes, you're just, every time you say something out loud and it gets a laugh, that's a joke.
Oh.
So you wrote a joke. You're probably writing them all day long, not realizing it. But if you started to write it down, you would probably have an act.
Oh, I have an act.
Yeah.
I actually know that I have an act. I've just
Yeah.
never done it because I'm like a shy person. Like, I need to hide. I need to hide. See, look at you. I need to hide behind the camera. I really do. Like, I can talk to this guy, but a whole, sea of people, I freeze. I'm really going to take one of your classes.
I would love
really
for you
am.
to take my
Really?
class. You would be so great. And you would add so much to the class as far
Chaos.
as your energy
I would add
goes.
chaos and energy, great energy, but definitely I'll throw it upside down. And when I leave, you'll go, "What just happened?" Right? Tony knows that about me, right? A little bit, but fun chaos with a big heart, right? And I don't mean to hurt. Yeah, thank you. So how many women are in one class?
10 to 12.
Okay, so 10 to 12 women. What are the ages?
Let's see. I have a girl that's 17 right now. And one of my oldest students was 70 years old when she first came to me.
Oh.
And her name is Janice Silver, and she still does stand-up all around town.
Okay, I want to go see her. I have this thing about helping older people because I feel like, they probably didn't have the nerve or the opportunity as they were younger, and now this brave woman at 70 is doing this. Good for her.
Driving around town, going to open mics,
that is
doing
so
shows.
cool.
She's really cool.
Kaylee, we got to go see her. Do you want to do this with me? Totally. Do you really? Down. Yeah, she's an actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You could
So-
take my class too. You probably get a lot out of it.
Yeah,
You would
she's
enjoy it.
really talented. She's terrific.
Yeah.
So, and on the side, she just comes to help me because she has nothing better to do. But, so various ages, and you come and you give assignments for the next week.
Yes, homework. Lots of homework.
Lots of homework. And then do you always perform in front of the group?
You mean in class?
Yeah, in class.
Yeah, you get up. I've converted my guest house into a comedy club. There's a curtain and a stage and a mic and a stand and everything, and you get up every week. You get up a couple times a week, trying out new bits, telling stories.
And you have to write it down initially. You can't just get up and start talking.
Well, that's improv.
That's
Totally
improv.
different than stand-up.
Improv, I took an improv class, and I had a really tough time with it because you couldn't talk in the improv class. Like, you had to pretend, like, let's say you had to pretend to be a tree, and I had to pretend to, like, water the tree. And then I had to react to how you were as a tree. And I was thinking, I just don't want to do this. You know what I mean? I found that really difficult.
I don't love improv.
No, and we weren't able to talk. We had to react to the next guy.
Yeah.
And if I thought he was a shitty tree, I got stuck with a guy who was a really bad tree, and then I had to water the tree and spend like 10 minutes doing a skit on something that I thought was pointless. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay,
Totally.
so you know what I'm talking
I don't
about.
like improv. I like to be in control of my material, and that's what stand-up is. You're writing everything. Everything's written down. Everything's perfectly concise. There's a lot of discipline.
Jay Leno is a friend of ours, and sometimes I'll go to his shows. He performs down in Hermosa Beach every Sunday.
Comedy Magic Club.
And don't listen, Jay. I'm sure he's just glued and listening to me right now. But he's supposed to be coming on, actually, in the next couple of weeks. But I do notice that he uses a lot of the same material.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go a year later, and it's the same joke. And I'm thinking, is this what these guys do? They make all their money on the same joke year after year?
Oh, yeah. I still have a joke that I wrote when I was 26. I still use it to open with.
Really? Mm-hmm. What is it?
I say, I don't like to tell people I'm a comedian because then they automatically expect you to be funny. I hope you guys aren't like that. I say that to the audience, and then they laugh. And then
they leave.
And then I say, I just like to tell people I'm an actress, and I live in L.A. That way they don't expect anything from me.
Well, that's true. Or they probably expect you to perform somehow. But yeah, I get it.
Or take their order.
Or right, or just be their assistant, right, Kaylee? It's like, you over here, do this now. No, she's a family friend now. You're kind of like my want today, aren't you? That's what I'm doing with you. You just never know what you're going to find when you come in here. But so that's how you open up. So that's usually the same thing.
That's one of my opening jokes. I have a lot of opening jokes.
How long is your typical improv? Like if you show up and you do a skit or whatever, a bit, whatever. What do you call it? A bit?
We
a skit?
don't call it a skit.
Okay.
We call it your set.
And you do a set. Like how long is a set?
It depends. You know, your set when you graduate from my class will be 5 minutes. But I've done 45 minutes. I've done an hour. It depends on where the venue is and what I'm doing.
We have something up on the board. Tony, what is that? What are we looking at? We've got a bunch of your students.
Oh, that's the Laugh Factory show that I'm putting on, and that's the flyer for the show.
When is it?
That's November 16th.
I'm going to go. Wait, what day is
7:45.
November 16th?
It's a Thursday night.
I can do it. I'm leaving town Friday, but
I would love for you to
do
come.
it. That would be so fun.
Yes.
I really want to come and see this. And these are all your students at the Laugh Factory?
They have all taken my class, yes. But they're like my top favorites. I mean, not my everyone's a favorite, but they're like the best of the best.
Right.
So I booked
You're an uber talented group, you're saying.
Yes.
And did you
really
book them? Is that how this
I booked
works?
them, yeah.
So you also are not just the teacher. You're somebody
I'm a
who helps to
producer.
see it through.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Yeah.
can see someone with a great deal of talent.
And now I'm managing people. So I'm a
Oh.
talent manager, and I have 2 comics.
So you
that
can
I-
really spot talent.
Yes.
So you can just take a look at someone and go, she's got it.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll talk. Maybe that's my bit. Me trying. I'm like a little bit like Lucy, you know, always trying to get on and never quite getting there. You know what I mean? Trying to
you
take
are
over.
on.
I know, trying to take over Ricky's show.
Oh, right.
And it just never quite happens.
Yes.
You know. But she's the star of the show anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're all performing in one evening.
Yes, they are. Everyone's doing 6 minutes, and it's my first time at the Laugh Factory producing a show.
That's a big deal. I
Yes.
have to tell you, I applaud you because you're not just a funny lady. You're a businesswoman and you design something important for women. And that's important to me.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I did a segment earlier, not part of your show or another show that I did about Harvey Weinstein. May I just bring him up for a moment? And we just need way more people in the business, men and women, who just support each other and are not looking for anything in the back end for return, but just to do it because it's the right thing to be doing.
Yeah.
So I applaud you for doing
Thank
this
you.
for all of us girls out there.
Yeah.
How many people come to you? Do you ever turn people away who want to be, you know, in
No,
your
I
really?
don't.
You don't.
No.
Because you know what, you do it for different reasons, right? Like the woman who just wants to be funnier as a mom showing up at school, right? Or just wants to come out of her shell a little bit.
Maybe she's lonely and bored and wants an outlet.
Yeah.
You know, or I have girls who are actresses who want more confidence in their auditions. And then I have people who, I've had lawyers, I've had strippers, I've had, you name it. Yeah, I probably every profession has taken my class at one time or another.
Do you help to cast someone in something, like in TV shows and web shows? Do you?
Yes. I get calls from casting people all the time asking for, you know, a certain type. They know they come to me for, a lot of models take my class. So I got, you know, see, when I produce the show, I ask everyone to wear a dress and dress up and look super hot because the brand is pretty, funny, right? So everyone looks really beautiful.
Right.
And because there is no other venue or platform for women to look like women in comedy. A lot of them feel like they have to downplay their sexuality.
Yes, and to be like schlubby, you know what I mean? Show up with the baggy pants.
Because they're with the guys.
Yeah, because they're with the guys and they feel like they have to have a cigar and a drink in their hand. And
hoodies
be
and
gross.
tennis shoes. And
yeah, and there's a place for that too, right? If that's the mood you're in.
Yeah. I mean, if that's how you dress. But I mean, most women like to look beautiful. And they'll go out on a date and they'll spend an hour getting ready. So why wouldn't you do that for your audience? That's my philosophy.
Wow. So hot, sexy, pretty women.
Yes.
That
telling
are funny.
Jokes.
I mean, every man's dream or every woman's dream, really, don't you think?
Yeah. I think so. I mean, I think what's better? There's nothing more powerful.
Do you Skype in your lessons as well? I think we talked about that on the phone. I have a friend who does acting classes, and she's got people from around the country, and kind of Brady Bunch style. They're all like, here's actors number 1, number 2, number 3, and they're all taking their class from different places, literally around the world, which I thought was really cool. Cool way to do it.
I have Skyped occasionally. I'm really terrible with technology. I get very nervous trying to set it up, but I've done a lot of phone sessions. You know, I have a couple students in New York right now who call me regularly for private coachings.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add to this that's kind of funny? I mean, give me some fun stories that you've had. I mean, you've led quite the life.
I went to the Chicago Comedy Festival in 1998, and I shared a room with Doug Stanhope and Mitch Hedberg. I don't know if you know who Mitch Hedberg was, but he was a genius.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite comics. And so we were bored.
It must have been a funny room, right?
It was a blast.
Oh my God! See, I would have loved to have been in there. I mean, you know, what an all-night session.
It was a blast. We had a after party, and Doug said, and one of the waitresses went into the bathroom, and Doug goes, "You guys, when she comes out, let's everybody be naked." And there was like all guys and me, and I said, "Well, I'm not getting naked, but go ahead." And they all took off their clothes. And they were completely naked, just like lounging on the...
As though nothing was going on.
Nothing was
that
going
would have
on.
been my room to be in. That happened to me in college. I was like in charge of one of the floors, whatever they call that, you know, like the RA. And all the guys on the floor said, "Oh, when she comes off the elevator, let's like be sitting on the couch naked." And they were, so like nothing was going on. And I just pretended that nothing was going on. I'm like, "Hey, everybody." And I just kept walking. And they were like, "Shit, did she notice?" So
yeah, the girl came out of the bathroom. And
I love them, though. They were my friends. They weren't like jerks or anything. Yeah, they were cool people.
Yeah, no, the girl came out of the bathroom, and it was like, I couldn't wait, you know. I thought she was going to laugh or be shocked. She goes, "Why is everybody naked?" And then it was anticlimactic.
Or, or hey, hate to say, but some of you look good and some of you don't. Oops. So, you know. But,
and then we were bored one day in our hotel room, and there was the new faces in the catalog of brand new up and coming talent. And Doug said, "Let's create a fake buzz about somebody." And so we just picked somebody, and this kid's name was DT, and we started going around the festival spreading rumors about how great he was and how funny he is, and we'd never seen him, so we got excited.
Next thing you know, he's on late night. You know what I mean? So
it's Daniel Tosh.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He used to be called DT, and we just were telling everyone. Doug went on radio and promoted him. We'd never even seen him.
Oh, that's the funniest thing. Would you do that for me?
Sure.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Create
just
a fake
run,
buzz.
get out of here, and just when you leave, just go, "Deborah Kobylt," wherever you go. Walk across the street to Denny's and promote me, you know, wherever you go, and just create this major buzz around town.
Yeah.
And let's see what happens.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really fun, and then we went to his show, and we sat in the front row, and he was really funny, and I was like, "Oh, this kid's going to be a star." And look.
Oh, that's so great. What a fun job you have.
Yeah.
Is this primarily what you do? Is there anything else that you're doing on the side in life? What do you do for fun?
Gamble. I'm a compulsive gambler.
That's right. You're a big gambler.
Yes, I like to play
Where
blackjack.
do you gamble?
Well, I just got back from San Manuel Indian Reservation Casino, and I hit a $6,000 jackpot. I was dealt 4 aces and a kicker.
Did you leave after that, or did you keep going?
I left with $5,000.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Do you usually come out the winner?
No.
Yeah. See, that's the issue
Nobody
with gambling.
does.
I will not gamble because I'm afraid that I will compulsively get into the whole thing. I mean, I'm like one of these people. I'll gamble like $80 and leave.
Oh, wow. I wish I could do that.
Yeah, I can't because I think I would just keep going. And if I won, I'd probably wouldn't leave. So I step
It's
away.
very addictive. Yeah. I have an addictive personality. Anything I do to the extreme.
Yeah.
So.
But you left with $5,000. That's not so bad. Okay. So how often do you go out gambling?
A lot.
Like daily or?
Once every 2 weeks.
Okay. It's not that bad.
That's a lot.
It is?
Yes. If you're spending a lot of money.
Okay, but you're having a good time, right?
I
You're
love
enjoying
it.
yourself.
I like the
Have you ever
high.
performed at any of the casinos?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Many
Where?
casinos.
Tell me
Well,
where you performed.
One of my gigs was, I used to work for this woman named Anita Mann, and
Yeah.
she was she
You know
created-
her?
Anita Man. I need a man. No,
I
Anita.
need a man. You would pick up on that. Okay.
She created the show called Fantasy in Vegas. It's a topless show. So she has a comedian that comes out, and he was going on vacation. She said, do you want to bring your pretty funny women and perform in that slot? So we performed stand-up during a naked review. So there'd be topless girls, and then they'd be like, okay, now welcome, Lisa Sundstedt. And I come out with my clothes on, obviously, and for people who didn't speak English, and they were just like staring at me, and I kind of bombed, but it was fun.
Oh, that sounds great. What a business this is, isn't it? I mean, don't you
Yes.
sometimes wake up and go, why couldn't I have just been a banker? You know, and you just show up every day at 8 in the morning and do your thing and go home. No?
Sometimes when I'm getting rejected a lot,
Yeah,
and
I'm
things
just kidding.
aren't going well.
Yeah,
I
I'm
get,
just joking
yeah.
about that. I
Yeah.
couldn't even imagine. But, you know, for those of my friends who have the standard job and they get in the car, same time usually every morning, you know, give or take a minute, show up, do their thing, leave, give or take a minute, same time. And I think, wow, like, is it easier to be like that as opposed to, you know, one day you're performing for the Prince and the next day you're being tossed out of a casino because you did a lousy job. You know what I mean? But we can't help it, right? You're compelled to do this.
Yeah, there's a lot of highs and lows, but when I was a kid, I was producing shows in my living room for my parents.
Yeah.
They say you should be doing, as an adult, what you did for fun as a kid.
I so believe that 100%.
Yes.
I used to perform too. I would do like little hula dances when I was younger for all my relatives, and you know.
So you were a natural entertainer.
I think so,
now
and I
you're
think
doing
that's
that.
true. And I have one of my kids who was really like that, and now he's into like producing live events. It's true. Whatever you really enjoyed as a little kid, it's very true. My middle one, he like loved National Geographic and all that, and now he's studying archaeology. And my younger one loved baseball, and he's a ball player.
Oh, wow.
You know, if you're fortunate enough to grow up and you have the good fortune and privilege to do what you want. You know, so many people are told you're going to be a lawyer and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Or you're going to study math. You know, but if you
have parents that are encouraging,
Yeah,
right? My
it
mom
sounds like
was
you did, too.
very encouraging. She was a big fan, and she always came to my shows.
oh
Yeah, she still does. She comes to all my shows when she can.
that's one. You grew up where?
I grew up in Oceanside, California.
Oh, so you're a California kid.
San Diego, yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is great. So how can people get in touch with you with Pretty Funny Women if they want a class, or let's say they're not from California and they still want to get in touch with you and take
Well,
lessons?
you can email me at lisa@prettyfunnywomen.com, or you can go to prettyfunnywomen.com and check out my website and see when the next class is, and I hope you'll take it. It's
I'm
November
100%
1st,
serious.
Wednesday
A
night.
couple of the Wednesdays I'm not here. I already know that, but if you'll, you know.
Well, we're taking 3 weeks off for the holidays, so
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's no excuse.
Yeah, and I
Deborah.
I should be able to be there that first one, but I'm leaving in the morning because I'm doing the New York City Marathon.
Oh, wow.
So hopefully I'll get through it. I've suddenly come down with like horrible knees, and I'm having trouble with it. So, but if I don't come on the first, it's only because I'm leaving the next morning really early to go to New York. So,
okay.
but maybe I could do it. And
You can go first, and I can let you leave early.
yeah, then let me get out of there. So something
Yeah.
like that. I'm really committed. I want to do this. So
I want you to do it.
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
It was great to have you
It
on.
was so nice. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Love it.
Yeah, we have an enormous studio audience here at the Sunset Tower Studios. Everybody,
Loving it.
yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will see you next week for Deborah Kobylt Live. Bye-bye.